This tube seems to have been dropped and now the battery is disconnected. So I'm going to take this apart and I'll show you that process. In order to get the thing open, we're going to use a T8 Torx to remove this retaining screw. Okay, so now I've got the screw out, and this end cap will slide out, but you have to be careful at this point because there's an antenna inside and we don't want to rip that. So this tab here is what slides in and holds it. So there's nothing else holding it. So pushing on this should get that to release. I'm not moving it at all though. So I'm trying to squeeze it while I'm lifting it, and then if I can get this guy under there. There we go. Once you get it started to pop out of the track, it all just sort of pops out. And no damage, anything, it's all good. Okay, so yeah, on the inside, got a couple more screws. So now we have to switch to a third screwdriver. And that will be our Phillips. Yeah, so just very carefully take the end cap off because there's an antenna attached to this right there, and that can get damaged. Okay, and now from here, I also need to do the other end. So they can pull the whole circuit board out. Actually, that can stay on. I just need to take the Torx out. These Torx screws are in really tightly, so I need to have this in my lap to get a better angle on it. But that's what the screws look like. Okay, and so now I've got that out, and now the whole there we go. So I'll just slide this whole situation out of here. Here's one of our battery mounts at the bottom of the cage. And so the only thing I'm personally worried about, because I don't know if this light fell down or if someone was swinging it around like a lightsaber. I don't know what happened. So here's the moment of truth where we see if we still have a connector on the battery. We do, but the tab is broken. So not the end of the world, but now this battery's a little bit prone to coming apart again, so that kind of sucks. Okay, and then I've totally fucked up on the other end because I did not get the antenna detached. Okay, and now we've got our circuit board. I forgot to detach the antenna, so now the antenna is broken. So I'll have to solder that back together. This little connector comes off. And then I need to reattach that to our wire. But I had a little bit of resistance while I was taking this apart, and I forced it and then broke that wire. So in my experience, that cuts down the wireless range, but it does not actually make the whole thing defective. To attach the battery back, I'm going to leave the little sticker guy in place. And the battery just comes right up and plugs in. You can do a test fire to see if it turns on. No problem. And then this other sticky pad has now become the only thing holding this whole thing together because the wire clip is broken. But with this little bit of foam back in place, now the battery is nice and stable. And we can put it all back together. When you reassemble it, you just have to notice that you've got these channels in here to work with, and so you have to line that up. So when you're getting the end cap on, to be sure all the screw holes line up, and that might mean you have to push both ends to get it to seat properly, but the screw holes will line up perfectly when you do it right. And then from there, just put those little Phillips screws back in. And yeah, so at the beginning of the video, you saw how I took off the end cap with the controls. Don't do that. That's got the antenna, that's got all that stuff. So even though I was trying to be careful with the antenna, I still managed to completely rip the connection apart. So lesson learned on that, just do the end with the tripod mount and you'll be in better shape. Leave the other end completely put together, but don't, you have to take the little security screw out as well. And these screw in really securely. They're very meaty little screws, so you have to torque them down a bit. But this side here, when you open it up, and if you're working on this end, do not take this end off. Leave this end attached. Don't touch these screws at all. Okay, the only screws you need to worry about are these on this end, where there's a tripod mount. Okay? You'll have a bad Sunday morning like me when you break your antenna. But I'm not too worried about the broken antenna because it should be fairly easy to replace that. Okay, so now we're all. If you look at how the plastic tabs are inside, this plastic tab's a little bigger, so I need to seat this side first. And I don't have the same problem on the other end, so looks like this is sort of the key starting point, is getting that piece in. And then once you have that in, you can lay the track all down. Side and start snapping it in from bottom back up to the top. And there we are, all back together and working as intended. Great.